Welcome to today's story time. The today's story is titled The Haunted Wig. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the rolling hills of the countryside, there was a renowned wig maker named Madame Caroline. She was known throughout the land for her exquisite craftsmanship and her ability to create wigs that were so lifelike that they seemed to have a life of their own. Madame Caroline had spent many years honing her skills, and her wigs were sought after by royalty, nobility, and even the occasional commoner. She was a master of her craft, and her wigs were said to be imbued with a magic that made them seem almost alive. One day, a young woman named Adesua came to Madame Caroline's shop seeking a new wig. She had lost her hair in a tragic accident and was desperate to find a replacement. Madame Caroline listened carefully to Adesua's story and then set to work creating a wig that would be perfect for her. As she worked, Madame Caroline whispered strange incantations and made mysterious gestures, as if she were imbuing the wig with some sort of magic. Adesua watched in horror as the wig began to take shape, its hair growing longer and more luxuriant with each passing moment. When the wig was finished, Madame Caroline presented it to Adesua with a flourish. "This is no ordinary wig," she said. "It is infused with the spirit of the forest and will bring you good fortune and prosperity." Adesua was skeptical at first, but as she tried on the wig, she felt a strange sensation wash over her. It was as if the wig was alive and was responding to her thoughts and emotions. She looked in the mirror and gasped in amazement. The wig was indeed lifelike, its hair flowing like real hair down her back. But as the days passed, Adesua began to notice strange things happening. The wig would move on its own, as if it were trying to communicate with her. She would catch glimpses of it out of the corner of her eye, as if it were watching her. And at night, she would hear whispers in her ear, soft and urgent, as if someone or something was trying to tell her something. At first, Adesua tried to ignore the strange occurrences, but they only grew more frequent and more intense. She began to feel like she was losing her mind, trapped in a never-ending nightmare from which she couldn't awaken. One night, as she lay in bed, she felt the wig began to stir on her head. It moved slowly at first, but then faster and faster, until it was dancing on her scalp like a living thing. Adesua sat up in bed, screaming with terror as the wig wrapped itself around her head like a noose. The next morning, Adesua woke up to find that she was alone in her bed, but the wig was still on her head. It was now tangled and matted as if it had been through some kind of ordeal. And as she looked closer, she saw that it was covered in strange symbols and markings, the same incantation and gesture that Madame Caroline had used when she created the wig. Adesua knew then that she had to get rid of the wig, but it seems to have developed a life of its own. It would not only come off her head no matter how hard she tried to remove it. And as the days passed, it grew more and more aggressive, attacking anyone who came near Adesua, including her family and friends. In desperation, Adesua turned to Madame Caroline for help, but when she arrived at the shop, she found that it was empty, except for a note on the wall that read, "The spirits are restless. The wig is alive." Adesua knew then that she had to confront the forces that had awakened within the wig. She gathered a group of brave villagers and set out to find Madame Caroline, or whatever dark power had created the cursed wig. Their journey took them deep into the forest, where they encountered all manner of dark creatures and eerie landscapes. But eventually, they came to a clearing where they found Madame Caroline, or what remained of her. She was an old woman now, twisted and nailed by age and evil magic, and at her side lay a great book of spells, one that contained the secret of the haunted wig. "You should have listened," Madame Caroline cackled at them. "You should have listened when I warned you about the power of the spirits." Adesua knew then that she had to destroy the book, but it seems to be protected by some kind of dark magic. As she tried to burn it, flames danced around her fingers instead of engulfing the pages. In desperation, Adesua turned to the villagers for help. They band together and managed to overcome the dark magic, but not before Madame Caroline disappeared into thin air. The villagers returned with Adesua to their village, but they were not alone. They brought with them the haunted wig, which seemed to have grown even more powerful since its encounter with Madame Caroline. As they approached the village gates, they heard a strange noise, like whispers in their ears. It grew louder and louder until they could make out what was being said. "The spirits are restless. The spirits are restless." The villagers knew then that they had brought something terrible back into their midst. They tried to flee, but it was too late. The haunted wig had taken over their village, using its dark magic to turn them against each other. And so, Adesua was left alone, trapped in a world of madness and terror, haunted by the cursed wig that Madame Caroline had created all those years ago. But even now, some say that on quiet nights, you can still hear whispers in your ear. Whispers that speak only one word: Caroline. Here comes to the end of the story time today. I hope you enjoyed it. Kindly support my channel with your like, comments, subscribe, and share this video to your loved ones. Till I come your way next time. Goodbye.